Hello everyone and welcome back to our stream here where we're streaming the third Singapore Open, and I think we're about to begin our second round of Swiss matches here after a rather long break, thanks to a very drawn out game that came all the way down to a sudden death and timer. I believe up next we're going to have Tang, Teck, Meng and Ang Wei Wen.
Yes, both players are relatively well known in the community, as Wei Wen has been here since the very starting of the community, and Teck Meng was quite a reputable seniors back in last year.
Yeah, I believe Teck Meng actually won a regional championship here in the seniors division. Not sure whether it was just last year or the year before, but it's been a while back. But he's definitely looking to do well in the masters division as well, and perhaps bring home a title of sorts from this particular venue again. And okay, we can see both players have their teams up, and both actually very similar teams.
Yes, Teck Meng is running Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Tapu Lele, Katana, Gigalith, and Porygon 2.
And from Wei Wen's side, we see Lele, Katana, Arcanine, Gyarados, Gigalith, and Porygon 2. Both very cookie cutter, but not quite exactly the standard we've come to know as, I believe, a fake PG. With a little variation here and there in both cases. And Wei Wen actually not having a Tapu Koko, which is usually one of the more standard mods you see in such teams.
However, by having the Gyarados, it does provide the Intimidate.
That's true.
Yeah.
More reminiscent of, I believe, the team Nick Navarre used to quite great success a while back, early on in the season, around the time of
Teck
Melbourne.
Meng does lead with the Porygon 2 Gigalith lead, and Wei Wen leads with the Tapu Lele and the Arcanine.
I think Porygon 2 Gigalith tends to be a very strong win condition when playing such mirror matchups, because Porygon 2 and Gigalith generally do fare well against most of these cookie cutter standard teams. Gigalith itself is usually able to take hits and from most of these very standard mons and hit them back for a lot of damage, save for perhaps in this case Garchomp and Katana. Though usually I think players prefer to save them for the late game, so quite interesting to see Teck Meng lead with them both here.
Yes, Wei Wen is currently threatened by the Gigalith's Heavy Slam. However, Gigalith's at -1, so Tapu Lele will most probably survive it. Arcanine is also threatened by the Rock Slide pressure from the Gigalith itself. Porygon 2 is also safe here to go for a Trick Room, or perhaps Wei Wen does carry the Taunt on the Tapu Lele to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, this turn really could go both ways depending on what moves Wei Wen packs on Arcanine and Tapu Lele, since both of them could potentially deny a Trick Room setup with perhaps Raw or Taunt. And Teck Meng could be potentially packing a Z move on his Gigalith, which would actually allow him to pick off the Arcanine despite Intimidate. So we will see Wei Wen retreating Arcanine, so probably no Raw there. Maybe a Taunt coming off to deny the Trick Room. Yep, we do see a Taunt. It's probably going on to Porygon 2 to stop the Trick Room, and we don't see Teck Meng protecting Gigalith, so yeah, Rock Slide coming off. Not the Z move Wei Wen probably feared the most, but still does a hefty amount to Tapu Lele.
Yes, and with the Taunt, Porygon 2 won't be able to set a Trick Room. However, right now Katana is threatened by the Porygon 2 Ice Beam, and Tapu Lele is still threatened by the Heavy Slam that Gigalith may carry, and because of getting chipped by the Rock Slide, Heavy Slam is a KO onto Tapu Lele. However, Wei Wen may want to switch out. Katana goes for the Sacred Sword onto the Porygon 2, maybe perhaps a double target onto the Porygon 2 here.
Not going to be able to pick up the Beast Boost though, unfortunately, since Katana was not able to pick up the knockout itself. Lele revealing that it is holding the life orb, and Katana's Sacred Sword doing not quite as much damage as I would expect, honestly, perhaps hinting that Wei Wen's running a bulkier set, maybe even Assault Vest, although that's not really what you expect from most teams like these nowadays. And
Teck Meng does carry the Stone Edge though, which most of the time, if a Gigalith carries Stone Edge, it might jolly well have the Rockium Z. But Gigalith now is sitting at -2 attack, which even if Teck Meng chooses to Z move into Arcanine style, Arcanine may survive if Wei Wen is running a bulkier Arcanine.
Yeah, now we see Teck Meng bring in his Tapu Koko. Not a bad position for him. Arguably a better position than he would be in had he set up Trick Room earlier this game. And it's going to go for a Protect here, but Tapu Koko being on the field with Electric Terrain up is going to exert a lot of pressure onto Wei Wen's two Pokemon there, and which Wei Wen clearly recognizes by protecting his Katana, revealing that it's not holding the Assault Vest. And is that the Firium Z?
Yes, from Wei Wen's side of the field.
Probably going to go into Tapu Koko, but not going to do enough since Tapu Koko went for Protect this turn.
Teck Meng smartly protected his win condition there, and Gigalith didn't switch out, hinting that he might actually go for a Rock Slide or a Stone Edge onto the Arcanine slot. or perhaps even the Rockium Z.
It's quite a messy turn that last turn though for both players, since there were so many possibilities, and we weren't perhaps acknowledging that he had to press that Z move at that turn in order to make the most out of it, since both Katana and Arcanine actually both threatened by Tapu Koko, since Tapu Koko could potentially be packing a Z Crystal. We haven't seen Teck Meng's Z move yet, which would have taken out Arcanine there and then, but we went instead choosing to press the Z move, perhaps anticipating that, oh, if I don't go for the Z move now, I might not get to use it for the rest of the game, so that's probably why I went for it, and kind of paid off since Tapu Koko chose to play more defensively this turn, and he was able to get some damage off now before it goes down.
Thunderbolt goes into the Katana, finishing it off easily under the electric terrain, and Arcanine may just take out the Tapu Koko here, but Gigalith will revenge kill it with either a single target Rock Slide or Stone Age again.
Wayward probably feels a lot safer now, having seen that Teck Meng's Tapu Koko is holding a Life Orb and not a Z Crystal, which would make things easier for him in terms of maneuvering his Arcanine around. But at what cost really, since Wayward seems to be pretty far behind now, I say.
Yeah.
He's lost 3 of his mons, only down to 1. Teck Meng's Gigalith still relatively healthy. And Garchomp coming in, that's not going to be good news for Wayward. Oh, but it's Gyarados actually. This could be interesting.
However, Gigalith is already sitting at -3, so -3 attack, but a single target Rock Slide will still do a lot to the Gyarados.
But Gyarados might be able to pick off Teck Meng's Gigalith with a Waterium Z boosted water move, I think.
Wayward already burned the Z.
Oh right, he did. So yeah, that's out of the question. But here we do see crucially that Teck Meng reveals the Fire Fang,
which can counter the Katana.
Yeah, but what it does mean as well is that Garchomp probably doesn't have Rock Slide on his set, which means that Wayward could next game, perhaps play to preserve Gyarados as his end game more safely. As we see here, Stone Edge actually, or was it Rock Slide, misses Gyarados, and Gigalith is actually in trouble right now.
Perhaps the Garchomp is also scuffed here as he chose to Fire Fang 2 times into the Gyarados.
Yeah. Oh, even without the Z Crystal, we actually see Gigalith falling down thanks to an unfortunate miss from Teck Meng's side. Yeah. And now I believe Wayward is quite free to set up his Gyarados and take out Garchomp, since Garchomp doesn't seem to have any option to hit it right now.
However, there's still the flinch and the burn chance that Fire Fang carries, and the rough skin damage.
That would be unfortunate. I guess we have to see what move Wayward is packing. I'm inclined to believe that if he is holding a Z Crystal, it might actually be the Groundium Z, given how previous iterations of this team have been run.
Or even Vanium Z, because it's a shiny Gyarados which might have a bounce.
That's true. Okay, we see one Waterfall isn't gonna quite cut it. Garchomp being a naturally bulky Pokemon, and it's gonna be one last opportunity for Teck Meng to
Fire
get
Fang
off
get a burn? Apparently not.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. Hard to see, but we didn't hear it. So I think that's pretty much gonna be game for Wayward, since he can fire off a Waterfall now.
Yes.
Not really sure actually whether the Fire Fang burn would have mattered really. Possibly could.
Unfortunate miss for Teck Meng there, as he actually already sealed up the game, but he chose to risk it with the Stone Age.
Yeah, I think Teck Meng played that match pretty well. Just rather unfortunate there that rock moves being what they are, let him down this turn.
or even if he didn't miss, he might have flinched. So the odds weren't really in Teck Meng's favor for that last few turns.
Yeah. Quite interesting though. We all thought Wayward was in a lot of trouble at the end of that after losing 3 of his mons, but Gyarados came in, got intimidated off, and that really kind of forced Teck Meng to have to rely on his more inaccurate move, since Gigalith had taken so much damage, so many intimidates early in the game.
Also, good. I'm inclined to believe that it's a Choice Scarf Garchomp, because but then if you're Choice Scarf, why wouldn't you fire off a Rock Slide?
Yeah, possibly because he doesn't have it, you have to think. Because there are Garchomps these days that tend to run without a rock move, perhaps Earthquake. I guess the only way we can justify his plays though would be if his set was just Earthquake, Fire Fang, Substitute maybe, and Protect.
Or even Swords Dance. But
if he had Swords Dance, you have to imagine he would have gone for it.
Swords Dance already. But even if that's the case, a Substitute would also be a good option to at least negate some damage from Gyarados.
True. Kind of wonder what item he was running there, since it's quite unimaginable that he would be running a Choice Scarf Garchomp with Fire Fang as his best out against Gyarados.
Without Rock Slide, yes.
See Lele and Gigalith, not exactly a very common lead.
From Teck Meng's side, and Wayward chooses to lead with the Tapu Lele Katana. Teck Meng doesn't have the best leads here, as both Gigalith and Tapu Lele gets pinned down by the Katana, and it's also shown here that Teckman's Tapu Lele is faster than Wayward's Tapu Lele, as Teckman's Tapu Lele set up the Psychic Terrain before Tapu Lele.
Quite a terrible position for Teck Meng, really, in my opinion, since Tapu Lele could potentially fall to a Smart Strike from Wayward's Katana, since we haven't really seen enough to rule that out yet.
Or even a Leaf Blade doesn't gleam onto the Gigalith slot.
Yeah, but more importantly, if Teck Meng's, if Wayward's able to pick up a Beast Boost early in the game, things could snowball out of control really easily, since his team doesn't seem to have many resisted Katana. But not too bad, I guess. We see a Choice Scarf Tapu Lele.
Tapu Lele here, yes.
But Smart Strike is going to come off, and I think that's going to knock out Tapu Lele. Yep, it is. Choice Scarf Tapu Lele is tending to be a bit frailer. Tapu Lele tends to need to invest a lot of defense to take Smart Strike. And that's going to give Wayward the Beast Boost he probably needs here. The Beast Boost would allow him to pick off Gigalith in one hit with Leaf Blade, and depending on how Teck Meng's Garchomp is trained, Wayward's Katana could very well take it out in one hit as well after the boost. We do see his own Katana coming in, which Wayward is probably very happy to know is definitely not holding the Choice Scarf, since we've seen Lele move
However,
faster earlier.
this will also mean that this will be a speed tie, and it's anyone's game in a way, and see whose Katana will get down first.
Yeah.
And because there's no intimidate on the field, Gigalith can clearly heavy slam into the Tapu Lele and killing it. However, Arcanine does switch in and nerf both Gigalith and Katana's attack.
Not really going to help Wayward protect his Katana though, regardless. And we see, unfortunately, he loses the speed tie he desperately needed to win there.
Yes. And Katana is back at neutral attack.
Thanks to the Beast Boost, yep. Really tough position to be in though. Having played Katana in such situations before, it's really infuriating because you need the Beast Boost to get things going.
And the Stone Edge cleanly one-hit KOs Arcanine despite the -1.
That's quite an interesting calculation to note here, really, since we've seen earlier that it actually wasn't enough to pick off Arcanine, I believe, at -1, or was it -2?
-2.
-2. Then that is actually quite a lot of damage there. Have we seen Teck Meng's Gigalith switch moves? I think we saw it protect earlier this game. Did we?
Yes, it did. It did protect. Okay. It did protect on the turn 1.
Then that's just a Gigalith with trained to have a lot of attack there.
Yeah.
Not possibly holding a choice band there.
Speed tie is one of the most, I would say most like unlucky thing if you were to lose a speed tie.
Particularly with Katana in situations like that, since Wayward kind of finds himself pinned down by how advantageous his situation was having the Beast Boost, since he didn't want to switch out and risk losing the Beast Boost, but at the same time staying in would mean risking a speed tie, which, as we've seen earlier, he really can't afford to lose.
However, right now Gigalith's at -2 and Arcanine is Gigalith's at -2 and Katana is back at -1 thanks to the intimidate from Gyarados.
Yeah, the Wayward's team build featuring both Arcanine and Gyarados really showing its dividends here, and we see Dragonite's go up, but at what cost? Gyarados took a lot of damage from that rock slide.
Yes, and then now with the Sandstorm, a Leaf Blade might just pick off Gyarados right here. However, Wayward does still have the Waterium Z with Gyarados.
Possibly, we haven't really confirmed that yet.
Yeah. However, the Katana might also carry a Focus Sash.
Yeah. I can't imagine Gyarados picking off Katana this turn. Waterfall gonna come off, but probably hoping for the flinch, which he's not gonna get. And Smart Strike's gonna collect with Tapu Lele. Is it gonna be enough? Not quite. Wayward's Lele definitely being one of the bulkier ones. I think that's enough for Psychic to pick it off.
Yes. However, Gigalith can just Rock Slide to pick up both Gyarados and Tapu Lele. Or just Gyarados alone right now as Tapu Lele dies to Life Out Recoil.
Life Out barely just taking Wayward's Tapu Lele out there. I think it looked really close. And with that, I think Teck Meng has taken this game without even revealing his last Pokemon, thanks to Gigalith's sheer offensive presence.
Yes. And
somehow or other, even though Trick Room wasn't up.
I feel that it is a very risky kind of playstyle from Teck Meng here, as it's a really high risk, high reward, as shown in game 1, if you miss the Stone Edge, you practically just lost the game right there. However, if you connect with Stone Edge, you sweep your opponent easily. As shown when even the Arcanine switch in, it just dies to the Stone Edge.
Yeah, I think it's a good example here how potent the Pokemon Gigalith is, and goes a long way to explaining why it's so high on our usage stats today and on both players' teams here. But at the same time, rock moves proving that they're not exactly the most reliable moves in the game, and we've shown the potential to both backfire and
benefit you,
really cause things to snowball. Perhaps taking out the Arcanine, which is always a very crucial Pokemon to take out in VGC17 games. I think Teck Meng might have realized, hopefully now, that Gigalith would actually make a very strong
Yes.
endgame should he be able to set it up. And
Or Gigalith is generally his win condition here at this point,
yeah,
and Weaven should really aim to take it out as soon as possible.
I mean, in game 1, he clearly recognized that Gigalith was a very strong call, but at the same time, I think he didn't really go as far as possible as he could in protecting Gigalith and in ensuring setting up the optimal conditions for it by leading it off right from the bat. So perhaps he might be better off bringing Gigalith in the back, bringing Porygon 2 in the back, and finding some way to kind of take down Waven's options at denying his trick room.
Getting away the intimidate support that Waven has, which is both the Gyarados and the Arcanine.
Yeah, more importantly though, I think he really needs to find some way to take out Tapu Lele, which he has a few ways of doing so with Katana.
Katana with Soft Strike, of that.
Okay, we do see Waven going for his
Game 1 lead with Arcanine and Tapu Lele, while Teck Meng chooses to lead with Katana and Gigalith.
Once again, I'm a bit skeptical of Teck Meng's choice to lead with Gigalith, since that exposes Gigalith to the Intimidate now, and potentially more Intimidate should he try and keep it on the field a bit longer.
Yes.
But Katana being out here, not exactly a good position either, since it's been intimidated.
Yeah, and Waven showing that his Tapu Lele is the bulkier variant, which won't die to a -1 Spark Strike.
Yeah, so Teck Meng really has to preserve his Katana here if he wants it to be used to take out Tapu Lele. The knockout is probably not going to happen here, unless he's going to gamble with perhaps a rock attack from Gigalith as well.
However, Teck Meng can also choose to risk it here, where he Smash Strike into the Tapu Lele and let the Sandstorm and the Life Out Recoil do the rest to take out Tapu Lele, and Arcanine will clearly eat a rock attack should Waven not double target into the Gigalith slot.
I kind of have a feel that for Waven, perhaps if he brought his own Gigalith this time around, his best option might actually be to whittle down Teck Meng's own Gigalith instead of focusing on the Katana, since Teck Meng's Katana is very strongly pressured by the Arcanine. But looks like we're not going to see him do that. He switches out his own Lele for Katana instead, and Teck Meng's Katana.
Teck Meng goes for Stone Edge onto the Arcanine, but Waven smartly protects the Arcanine here.
Yeah. So what are we going to see Teck Meng go for? Rock Slide instead, which is going to help break Katana's Focus Sash, not exactly a wasted turn.
Yes.
Or as wasted a turn as it would have been had he chose to go for Stone Edge onto Arcanine. And this looks like another turn that might boil down to a Katana speed tie, unfortunately.
Yes.
Oh, but Teck Meng can't take out Waven's Katana with Sacred Sword Egg because it's been intimidated. So not too bad a situation for Teck Meng, since he's kind of forced to switch out Katana and risk making a... Alright, he's not as likely to make such a terrible play this time around.
Perhaps a Garchomp switch in is actually quite not as bad here, but both players choosing not to switch, and Waven protects his Katana, and Teck Meng Sacred Swords into Waven's Katana, but will however bring Teck Meng's Katana down to its sash and taking a whole lot of recoil here.
Didn't really work out the way Teck Meng hoped, I guess, and kind of wonder why he went for the Sacred Sword there when his attack had already been cut and it probably wasn't going to do the job.
However, Stone Edge does miss the Arcanine. Unfortunate for Teck Meng there.
Would have taken out Arcanine at the range, I believe, had it hit, but
even
Stone
at
Edge
full
being
health,
Stone Edge,
even at full health.
Really unfortunate there, but hey, you can't help but feel that Teck Meng brought that onto himself by choosing to go for that play.
And now the Teck Meng's Katana is pressured by the extreme speed that the Arcanine carry, and Katana can go for a Leaf Blade onto the Gigalith.
Psychic terrain's on the field, so extreme speed isn't really an issue here, but you have to wonder whether it's really worth preserving Katana at this point, given that extreme speed is a thing, and it just seems okay. We see Teck Meng protecting Katana as well. Kind of find my eyebrows a bit raised by how both players are running Protect on Katana and not Detect, but I guess they appreciate the extra power points. Leaf Blade goes into Teck Meng's Gigalith, and we see for sure that it's not holding a Pinch Berry, and it goes for Rock Slide, which isn't going to be enough to take out Arcanine, but I think Sandstorm will do the trick here. Missing Katana a bit unfortunate, but not sure how much that will matter in the long run, since Rock Slide is doing very little damage to Katana anyway.
However, damage is still damage, and Sacred Sword will might as well just guarantee the kill onto it. However, Gyarados just switches in and taking Gigalith and Katana both to -2.
I'm a bit confused right now by what Teck Meng's objective this game is, his win condition will be, since Gigalith is typically on such teams, Gigalith or Katana tend to be the Pokemon you want to position into a advantageous position and create an endgame sweep with, but both Gigalith and Katana have been whittled down so far now to the point where I think Waven actually has this game won despite having technically a Pokemon disadvantage. So you see now Katana's going to pick up a Beast Boost, Gyarados going to get another KO or possibly a Dragon Dance here. bit dangerous, but
Yes.
it could potentially pay off. We'll have to see how the next of this turn goes.
However, Teck Meng that may actually just Stone Age and might as well just crit Gyarados, but even at -2, it still does so much damage, and Gyarados might just die to the next Sandstorm from from this range.
Wonder whether Wayward should have just gone for a waterfall there.
Yeah,
To
you take care of it.
yeah, because by opening himself up that turn, he's kind of put his Gyarados on a timer because of the Sandstorm
Yes.
damage and how low its HP is. Although,
Gigalith can
might
choose
Sandstorm
to
run out?
Gigalith can choose to protect here, and however the Z move on Gyarados might also can just take care of Gigalith here. Garchomp can just Fire Fang into the Katana slot, but Garchomp chooses to protect, proving that it's not a choice variant.
And we see a Z move. I think Waterium Z from Wayward's Gyarados gonna come off here. What into, you wonder? Is he trying to secure the KO on the Gigalith, or is he trying to take out the Garchomp in one hit?
Yes.
I have to imagine the Garchomp here, since Katana would be able to get a very clean beast boost off of Gigalith, which would
Bring it
make
to
it
+2.
yeah. And okay, I think Hydro Vortex is not going to trigger Rough Skin, fortunately for Wayward, so Gyarados not going to fall quite yet, although Gigalith goes down.
And Wayward's Katana getting to +2 attack.
Which is probably going to be very, very significant right now.
And the Sandstorm subsides, which Gyarados is saved from the timer.
Yeah, really fortunate for Wayward there that Sandstorm expired, so his Gyarados is no longer quite on the timer we anticipated, though Tapu Koko comes back in now.
And Gyarados might still be faster than Tapu Koko, but however it might still take a waterfall from Gyarados and revenge kill with the Katana.
Not a good position at all for Wayward, yes. Waterfall is definitely not going to pick up the KO on Tapu Koko. Wayward really needed the Z Crystal to have that locked up, and Adamant Gyarados itself doesn't actually outspeed Tapu Koko, so possibility there, but no, we see that Wayward's critical hit happens.
Wayward has been blessed.
Yeah. Wayward almost really didn't deserve that there, really, in my opinion, but
and Katana goes all the way to +3, and because Garchomp failed the double protect there, and Wayward securing his win, and will be moving on to game 3 with 2-0.
Yeah, kind of I feel that Wayward really lucked out there, but hey, of course he's gonna take what he gets there. He really should have conserved the Z Crystal a bit. His Z move a bit better, since he knew that his Gyarados being Jolly would be able to pick up a KO on Tapu Koko boosted with the Z Crystal, but not without it. But hey, I guess he played his to his mean out, which was either a flinch or a crit, and he got the least probable of them.
Well played to both players here, and I guess that it shows that Gigalith is a very strong Pokemon here in this game, and that there's a lot of learning points that both players can take from here.
Yeah, kind of infuriating to watch if I were perhaps forcing myself to be a bit more partisan towards Teck Meng, since this game was basically Teck Meng choosing to roll dices which he deemed to be his best way of getting out the game. Wayward unfortunately getting away with quite a lot of good luck in every single case. And ultimately at the end, Teck Meng choosing to lose to Wayward's own slightly miscalculated gamble at the end. So that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly how Pokemon VGC plays these days, really. A lot of luck involved, and fortunately that's how the game is. Okay, I think we're going to be able to have Wayward up here in a while shortly to discuss the games that just played out. So stay tuned and let's hang tight. We'll be back with an interview really shortly.
And we are back with our round 2 winner, Wayward. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you, Alan.
And I would say that you 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 clearly know that your win condition there was to wither down the Gigalith with the Intimidate from both your Arcanine and your Gyarados. However, both of your Intimidators are weak to Rock type, and then Teckman's Gigalith has shown to be very offensively, and even at -1, the Stone Edge clearly just took out your Arcanine at full health. How did, like, with the information, how do you actually pilot it into game 3?
Actually, in game 3, my game plan was, I kind of knew that Coco at the back was a threat, because he definitely did bring it. So I felt that taking out Gigalith was important, but then I think he realized that on his end, bringing Katana was a good option, because if he wins the speed tie, he can potentially take out Katana. But at one point of time, I made sure the Katana was -1, so even with a bit of chip damage on my end, that I'm pretty sure I would survive a -1 Sacred Sword and be able to KO back with Leaf Blade. So then it will still come down to the Katana winning the speed tie, which thankfully I won both,
yeah.
but he won game 2, so
yes,
that's
so,
fair.
Yeah, I mean, speed tie, this kind of thing is a very like iffy kind of subject to talk about, as like it really just boils down to your luck. And
Yes, I see.
yeah,
Like example in game 3, the reason I went for Dragon Dance instead of taking out the Gigalith, because I knew that at the back were two more faster Pokemon that could definitely outspeed Gyarados. So by going for Dragon Dance, and since the Gigalith was at -2, I'm pretty sure that if he went for Rock Slide, actually all his moves got chance to miss. So it's a very risky play. Like he went for Stone Edge, but I made sure that -2, so I would definitely survive because my Gyarados is slightly more bulkier.
yes, I see. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I would say that you played game 3, very quite like to your plan, and that indeed that you got a bit luckier with the critical hit at the end. But
I was actually going for the flinch, but then the critical hit, because if Katana had went down, then yeah, I think it would have just ended right there.
yeah, especially when you're already at +2, and then it's a legit clean sweep from.
Because I'm not sure, cause the only way Garchomp proven to have that could touch is Fire Fang, and I'm not sure. I didn't actually look at my HP bar, cause I know that if I didn't get the flinch or crit, I would die. So maybe if Fire Fang didn't KO, then we have chance.
Yes. Yeah. But good job though on winning the set, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the day, and hope that you top cut, as I know that you need the
Yeah.
CP.
Thank you, Alan.
Congrats everyone. And that's all for the interview, and we'll see you next round.